Are you ready to become a master of gridwork facilitation? Imagine diving deeper into the cosmic earthly realms, understanding land codes, and exploring stargate vortices. Picture yourself as a master of gridwork facilitation, unlocking the secrets of the universe and contributing to significant planetary shifts. No longer just a dream, this can become your reality. Welcome to an intensive exploration into the advanced techniques and profound strategies of Gridwork Facilitator 2.0. This is not just a course, but a comprehensive journey, a voyage through the intricate landscape of gridwork facilitation. From April 17th to April 20th, 2024, prepare to be immersed in a sea of knowledge and expertise. This course is more than just an education, it's a transformation. It's about equipping you with the tools and techniques necessary to initiate significant planetary shifts. It's about empowering you to become a beacon of change in a world that is constantly evolving. Scene script, but what does this course cover? It's an in-depth exploration of the cosmic earthly realms. It's about understanding the complex language of land codes. It's about mastering the art of navigating stargate vortices. It's about becoming a master of gridwork facilitation. Benefits? They are profound and far-reaching. You will emerge from this course with a deep understanding of the cosmic earthly realms, the ability to decode land codes, and the expertise to navigate stargate vortices. You will become a master of gridwork facilitation capable of initiating significant planetary shifts. In summary, this course is a comprehensive journey through the intricacies of gridwork facilitation. It covers the cosmic earthly realms, land codes, and stargate vortices. It benefits you by providing the expertise to initiate significant planetary shifts. It's not just a course, it's a transformation. From April 17th to April 20th, 2024, prepare to dive deeper, explore further, and become a master of gridwork facilitation. Are you ready to embark on this journey? Are you ready to become a master of gridwork facilitation? The cosmos awaits you.
So this course will cover everything from the ground basics to advanced topics, including an introduction to gridwork, understanding gridwork anatomy and vocabulary, and geoanatomy, delving into stargate mechanics. Star forts are on the agenda for Gridwork Facilitator Course 2.0. We're going to be exploring gridwork etiquette and also ethics as well. Okay, malpractice in the higher consciousness community. What does all of this mean? We will be learning so much, guys, and we will be learning how to effectively, this is the most important thing, guide and lead those gridworker sessions. And so, yeah, you're going to gain a lot of insight all about navigating all of the various healing modalities as well inside of that gridwork container work. So it is going to be full round, expansive. So much to share with you guys. It's going to be delivered through 8 live classes spread over 4 days with yours truly. And it's going to be featuring a lot of active interaction. We will be running live chats. We'll toggle back and forth between in-class live participation, also with webinar format for learning. So it's going to be just a full-on deep introspective class. And so participants are going to have access to all of the instant downloads and replays of each session. And then we're also going to offer graduation certification to facilitate gridwork after completion. So you will get a certificate. You can say that I completed this course and I have a certificate to do gridwork facilitation. So you will have also, we have payment plan options, so we'll have a lot more flexibility to pay as you go. So just be sure to tune in, you guys. We're going to be doing so much. And the upgraded learning courses for 2.0 that wasn't in the first facilitator course is going to be reversal stargate navigation. So we're going to get deeper into that. Talking about advanced gridwork strategies. Also, we're going to talk about the sacred planetary defense systems and the defender forces on the Earth, the new encoded and downloaded light matrices that have come through. We're going to be talking about the pyramid networks. We're going to be talking about the megalithic networks. We're going to be talking about the advanced weapon systems on the planet as well. So much, you guys, so much. And all of this is really imperative knowledge for the masterful facilitator. You got to know this stuff if you want to be really attuning your groups and the consciousness and the tethering and the weaving that you bring in for your participants in your facilitation, right? Like boosting these containers so that way the power that comes through truly makes a difference within the spiritual evolution of the planet. So yeah, guys, you want to go to learn.indigoangel222.com to register for this course. Okay, so my story is much like yours. Basically, I felt a call to grid work and I simply answered it, right? I answered it, and the call came through probably a lot of subliminal messaging to my consciousness through expanding through reading and through writing and just learning about ascension in general. Key codes of words would basically essentially start to pop out in my readings that would start to filter in the consciousness of grid work. I would recognize it as I was integrating knowledge, how I start to scan according to, and it's almost like another brain capacity that's working within my mental field. I kind of often feel like I have 9 heads or more, 12 heads of intellect simultaneously working within a sphere of recognition, past, present, and future timelines. I have mental spheres that are building projects. I have mental spheres that are basically collecting information for different types of baskets of things and projects that are meant to happen within my timelines over the next 6 months, year, 2 years. And so there's mental fields that are aware of those dynamicisms that are always running multidimensionally within my awareness and my consciousness field. So that's kind of how I recognized the beginning of grid workership coming in, was as I was learning through my awakening, through my writing, through my reading, through ascension, through just everything that I was integrating. I was starting to tune into key coded words through writing, as almost as certain words would light up in gold, right? And I started kind of building a basket, a grid worker basket, collecting all of this information. So this was the initial call. It didn't actually start with grid work itself. It started with reading. It started with knowledge. It started with tapping and tuning into the intelligence source fields that were radiating this reality and technology to be born, right? And so in the beginning, it all started with the awakening of starseed consciousness, and that awakening, okay, and that learning, that writing, everything that I spent during that phase of my awakening, I was basically attuning to the intelligence fields of star systems, okay, and embodying their energies, activating them within my own consciousness. And this journey essentially culminated in the writing of my book, which is called How to Read Your Celestial Akashic Starseed Origins. It is a methodology book that delves into your starseed Akashic records and the stargate systems in your galactic history. Basically, I decoded a lot of systems that are not very well known here on this earth. A lot of them are hidden, and so I call them the occult systems. So I kind of went off the radar of the 6 universal nations, which are, Orion, Pleiadian, Arcturian, Sirian, Lyran, Andromedan, all those guardian factions, essentially. But I kind of started to study occult systems and recognized and realized that there were beings and soul family and celestial consciousness that their stories haven't been told on this earth, but yet they've been here since the beginning of the progenitor races. And there's many, many, many systems and many, many, many consciousness lineages, celestial consciousness lineages, that's the case for them. There's not yet enough ambassadors on earth within that consciousness for it to come to the collective forefront. So I recognize that a lot. That's not something I necessarily talk about in my book, but it's something that it's something that I recognize now very much anyway. And it's how I know so much information that is very esoteric, is because I was activated within certain celestial systems of consciousness, particularly what I consider my home origin, which is Hydra. Okay, the Hydra Stargate system, this would be my cosmic heritage. And I have considered myself to be an ambassador of this nation for some time now. I wrote my first article a while back called Rebirthing Hydra into the Collective Consciousness. I think it's the first article on my website. So if you go to my blogs, IndigoAngel222.com, you can access that article and essentially, kind of scan and tune in and read into that. But it's a very deep-rooted celestial system that goes all the way back to the origination of human creation prior to the serpent cults timelines, essentially, in Lemuria and Mu. And so it's definitely a serpent seraphim progenitor angelic race. It is a guardian race. Yeah, but all of these things, all of these cosmic, awarenesses of intellect are intertwined deeply into our planet, deeply into the race morphogenetic field. And so I started to really have a deep understanding of what guardian consciousness meant, according to my teachers and way showers in which I have studied. And it's really propelled me to shine a light through my gridwork knowledge on inorganic architecture, which is where I've become very aware of artificial intelligence, the programming that's running in terms of the fall of man, and just other things that have basically put the cap on the collective consciousness from being able to evolve beyond certain doctrines or beyond certain false illusions or black tesseract cube mental mind control implants and things like this, called many, many different code names and code words, but ultimately it's just all stemming from the same internal holographic, I guess, galactic parasitic interlay into the planet that collapses down just the basis of spiritual, basic fundamental energies of spiritual propulsion from the most quantum fields within the planet. The root of it goes all the way into the technicalities of the meta quantum worlds, essentially. It's seeing the detailed of the negative controller force on the planet has really taken me into wanting and needing to expose nefarious agendas, work on reversal systems, work towards Earth's spiritual liberation, and work on the behalf of the Law of One. Some of us ultimately have taken contracts to come in and sacrifice for the loved one. Okay, so I am one of the beings, I guess, chosen for that work, and also give humanitarian messages uh, for others according to what it is I see within the details of the grid work, because it's a gift, it's a seership and a gift that I have to be able to interpret and then linguistically bring forth the pictures and scenarios, situations, realities, timelines, manifestation fields that are unfolding for everyone to get an intricate introspection into that realm and world. So I bring all of this to the forefront with the Gridwork Facilitator 2.0 course. I go into a lot of details of my perception, in which I feel is really fundamental into giving you the edge of the wisdom in which I've attained. So if you're, again, if you're someone who's only been doing grid work for so long, and you listen to how I speak from in what place and how I'm delivering the information, it will upgrade your wisdom fields, you know, by a couple years. It's going to expand it exponentially because you're learning from someone who's mastered certain aspects of something, right? It's always good to have a master or mentor in a particular field of something that you want to learn. There's nothing wrong with that. We should be, you know, subscribing to our teachers. And I'm not saying I'm a teacher for everybody. I'm a teacher for some. I'm not a teacher for everybody. I'm also a student to people that I consider teachers, right? It's a cycle, but we need our teachers to look up and to grow up into, and we should be dissecting them. We should be picking apart what it is they do and how they got to where they wanted to be and how they've attained certain perspectives. So that way you can look through and live through the lens, and it will, you know, upgrade you more and more and more. But essentially, through my embodiment as a galactic mind, I began to see the world, you know, the processes of how this happened. I began to see through quantum cognition, and I began to understand energy mechanics both within myself, and then graduated to the Earth's body mechanics, which is much more fun at this point, right? Because it's like, um, it's a bigger playground, so to speak. And it led me to explore more of my own internal stargates within my own universal tree of life, but also, you know, activate an internal planetary architecture mapping system within myself that I can navigate as well. So once I had my navigation routes, fields, ability to access energetically, holographically, remotely. Some might call it astral traveling. It's more of, it's all of just like one simultaneous act, that all rolls into like one, I guess, interprojected experience, if that's how maybe the best way to say it. But essentially, I just, yeah, started combining my internal and external references for planetary navigation, and this developed more of a stronger seer ability. So yeah, I quickly activated myself to a high level planetary grid reader level. And then I just continued to evolve into facilitating groups, remote grid work sessions where we focused on manifesting new Earth potentials, restoring reversal gate systems, anchoring organic architecture and timelines. And so I basically guide participants through preparation, planning, execution, utilizing healing modalities, transmissions, guardian keys to navigate those journeys. And so in the coursework, I definitely take time to answer personal questions. You know, anything that you want to know about my journey that I could share with you. Essentially, I'm trying to be more of an open book about things with people as I get more and more comfortable just being who I am on YouTube. And, you know, I feel like I've really come to a place where it's just, it is what it is, right? You know, there's no judgment on my end about myself. And so when I lose that and I'm comfortable in my own skin, I can deliver more my direct experiences. And I know that if I want to improve my perception, that I have to improve my inner self. That's ultimately kind of what it's all about, is the inner focus, because everything is what radiates out, right? So anyways, I'm really just excited that I'm going to be able to give you some expert eye experience that's going to accelerate your grid work, reading, and remote abilities. I also want to go into a little bit about a grid worker. Okay, because what is grid work? What is a grid worker? Some of you need the breakdown right now. Okay, some of you need to know, what does this really actually mean? So a grid worker is also known as a grid keeper, a gatekeeper, a grid reader, a planetary grid reader. This is the hat that I like to wear. These are the terms that coincide with it. And this is when one embodies a heightened level of spiritual evolution, attaining a planetary logos or an avatar level of consciousness within their original biospiritual instruction set. This means you have a lot of ascension and ascension under your belt, essentially, a lot of consciousness that's activated in your field that's taken you into the logos level, the planetary field, right? This involves identifying with the internal spiritual structures of the Earth's body, self-actualizing that spiritual anatomy, and navigating the intricate spiritual mechanics within that. And so as a grid worker, attuning to the grid, it involves delving deeply into the advanced Earth anatomy, identifying and understanding the intricate networks of stargates, vortices, ley lines, Earth chakras, defender forces, light matrices, and other vital components that sustain this living organism. And so this journey goes beyond mere awareness. It entails unlocking the profound wisdom encoded within the Earth's energetic matrix. It's about tapping into the planetary language, vision, and global knowledge embedded within the Earth's inner 5D matrix, which serves as a blueprint for humanity's biospiritual evolution. Furthermore, it involves accessing key access points such as the halls of the Menti, the Earth's cosmic hall of records, and the superconsciousness field of the planet, which holds the sacred information necessary for navigating and shaping our collective destiny. And so, grid workers may have been fulfilling their roles throughout their entire lives, right? This is something we just have sometimes been doing for a long time and we haven't even realized it. But now we are putting detail, we're putting consciousness, we are putting activation, we are putting wisdom, protocol, methodology behind this. This is becoming a technology, okay? And so a good way to identify where you're kind of at in your journey, in your process. Have you been doing it all your life because of your career? Have you been doing it because of travel? Have you been doing it because of the military involvement, or something like this, right? It's a fun way to look back on your past and see where you've already been doing grid work, but it's imperative that I think you step into the new dynamicism of this, okay, and become ultra conscious about the progression of grid workership through your ascension journey. It really stems from indigo types. I'll just say it this way, indigo types. So let's go over what these indigo types are, as my awareness around this has been upgraded, and I think it's about time to review it just a little bit with you guys. So indigo type 1, these are technically our traditional grid workers. This is the quintessential role of an advanced grid worker, serving as the primary template for grid work endeavors. They fulfill a multifaceted role as a grid reader, gatekeeper, grid keeper, spiritual land worker. Immersed in their mission, they intricately engage with ley lines, sacred sites, vortices, stargate locations on the Earth, and diligently work to rebalance biospiritual locations on the Earth, diligently working to rebalance biospiritual energies and restore planetary grids to their optimal, pure, organic state. This is the innate knowing of the indigo type 1, so they will constantly draw awareness back to the original template and call it forth and sustain degraded areas with that fortification. They're guided by intuitive insights and visionary guidance. Indigo type 1 grid workers adequately plan missions for themselves and others. With an innate understanding of the energy mechanics of the Earth, they possess a keen intuition that enables them to discern the most suitable drop-in zones, target sites, and extraction zones, which you'll know what those terms are if you join Facilitator 2.0. And commitment to their mission and their deep connection to the Earth's energetic grid make them an invaluable custodian of planetary harmony, transformation and truly taking on the parental role of the planet. Now, type 2s, I always kind of judged them in the sense where, they just took a role as a healer or a shaman or a spiritual metaphysician, that they didn't have anything to do with grid work. But what I identified the other day was that's actually not true. They are doing so much within the specialization of rehabilitation of DNA strands and activation of the human light body, but their primary focus in facilitation and grid work is that they are likened to like a medic on the field. Okay, so if you're in grid worker missions and remote missions, you want to have an indigo type 2s there because they'll be the ones that can facilitate personal healing processes for individuals and then also for the collective. They'll come in with powerful healing capacities that are necessary, and they create profound understanding and energetic dynamicism and spiritual principles within the grid work. And this allows them to offer targeted support and guidance to those in need. So the indigo type 2s are the compassionate, nurturing presence, and they usually have a very warm energy to them within grid work, which brings a lot of the mother energy forward. Let's put it this, every single indigo type is important in the role of grid work. They're like holding different positions on the field, so to speak. Indigo type 3s, now this is the individuals that embody a crucial role. They're kind of bridges between light and dark realms, and they transmute polarity and duality both within themselves, okay, at deeper levels, and meaning they have more access in the shadow realms, okay? And so they can do more clearing within the shadow realms for the collective consciousness. And that means that their mission involves restoring degraded genetics and soul lines. They work heavily in damage control. They work heavily in rescue missions and extraction missions. Okay, you always need indigo type 3s to come in and do this as the earth-based extractors. They possess a lot of unique ability just to draw that negative consciousness out of the land, out of the ley lines and the stargates, and transmute it into a higher frequency. So they are thus the, top contributors in terms of the inner warrior on the battlefield that's, ongoing through the process of planetary healing and transformation for the greater good. So they can be our justice fighters, right? They're definitely, a lot of Orion star seeds, and star seeds that have been basically oppressed in the humanitarian collective consciousness field. So if they're from a lineage that's been oppressed within their race lineage here on Earth, most likely they will take on an indigo type 3 templating as it serves the awakening of that race line, so to speak, or that consciousness template and field to exist on the planet. So yeah, you're having to bring a lot of things out through the unconsciousness, which ultimately is the shadow. Last but not least, indigo type 4. I like to throw this one in here because I feel like they're kind of the embodiment of all 1, 2s, and 3s. They're like an advanced version of all of them, and they do typically carry a double diamond sunlight body. They possess heightened abilities to navigate the Earth timelines, and understand planetary grid anatomy and traverse cosmic realms simultaneously. These individuals demonstrate extraordinary psychic capabilities beyond the norm during grid work. And they also they're like leadership roles. They guide groups through time portals. They can quickly remotely piece together, mission-based gate connections and stuff, and kind of create itinerary very quickly and understand which gate systems are connecting where people need to go. And they also can hold a lot of visionary and prophetic timelines and templates within their field as well. So they usually are vision holders, and they're just like the advanced version of 1, 2, and 3. It's like an upgraded Gridworker indigo type 4. So yeah, these types are necessary. And this is kind of what the facilitator role is. So we're getting our indigos 1, 2s, and 3s and getting them upgraded to 4 templates basically to hold facilitator roles. as they gain more mastery in their Gridworker abilities. So if you are coming into the consciousness of being a Gridworker, it means that you're being finely tuned to the rhythms of nature, the resonance of sacred sites, the ability to embody the energy from vortices and stargate locations consciously, understanding how those codes are rewriting your DNA, understand the processes that unfolds within your field. You understand the pathways of ley lines, the pulsations of energy vortexes. You understand this heightened attunement grants access to quantum consciousness and the profound wisdom of planetary logos consciousness. All of this guided by an inner knowing and the ability to, undergo the activations and the experiences for personal, profound growth. So this is also being, I guess I use the word sacrificial for mankind again. That's kind of, I think, one of the big things with this. This journey is not without challenges, okay? Gridworkers do encounter psychic attack and interference. And this is something in which they stand against and, stand through, and they get through with the knowing that they're stronger than anything that comes their way type of thing, because they work on the behalf of, shining light into the darkness and doing the dirty work in which others may not want to have to do spiritually. This is not for the spiritual lazy person. Let's just put it this way. This is for someone who's reflecting major significance into the collective shifts and changes in this world, and someone who wants to step into the role of catalyzing positive transformation within the Earth's body, and the collective consciousness. Okay, so it does become imperative to be well prepared for the journey of grid work. It's not a negative thing. It's an empowering thing. This is an inner resilience. This is an inner strength. This is an inner knowing and wisdom, and next level ability to do so much here, and navigate through various situations, various spiritual scenarios, and do this whether you're guiding a small remote group or a small on-site, on-location group or large remote facilitation groups. So this course has been meticulously crafted to furnish you with the comprehensive skill set and essentials for assuming the role of that facilitation in grid work. And so by undergoing this training, this course with me, your girl, IndigoAngel, and my co-host Noko, essentially you're going to be undergoing a training that's going to embark on a transformative spiritual odyssey. Okay, a journey of service to others and to the planet, evolution, and alignment with the divine blueprint, spiritual blueprint, angelic blueprint for humanity's ascension. And you guys know that we are in the brink of a tumultuous time of planetary ascension, and the need for facilitators at this time is very necessary to restore the Earth's spirit body. It's never been more pressing to have facilitators step into these roles and do this work. So as many grid workers as we can have to serve the collective and get this information out, the better things are going to serve humanity, because it's all about aiding spiritual healing and contributing to our energy and the expertise of the collective upliftment and harmonization of our planets. So join us in this noble endeavor, you guys. Gridwork Facilitator 2.0, April 17th, April 18th, April 19th, April 20th. We will have unlimited lifetime access to downloads and replays with your purchase. Also, again, Gridwork Facilitator certificates for our graduates, and also continued Gridwork facilitation support for future missions. So if you want support with your mission work and want to do remote missions, we will help you get those facilitations started, get you the practice, get you the experience needed. We'll have, again, lots of live class interaction, class chats up, active class chats, Q&A, homework assignments, and just real engaging learning activities and downloads. I always try to bring as much as I possibly can for you guys. So I can't wait to see you there. I love you all so much. And again, thank you for everyone who attended the Stonehenge reversal correction. It was a beautiful group of people, grid workers and spiritual seers. and powerful sound healers as well. I loved it so much. But yeah, guys, join us for the next one. Okay, the next one is going to be in the Gridwork Facilitator 2.0 course. We will be working on accessing more of the anatomy of the inner Earth gate structures to clear more out of the Earth. So Indigo type 3s. This is going to be a remote session for you guys in the facilitator course, because always on the last day of the facilitator coursework, we do about a 3-hour gridwork ceremony. So it's kind of our time to apply what we've learned and see how this interaction engagement works in the group setting. And it's all preparation work for the next thing, So the next thing after that is going to be a boots on the ground mission in Kauai, Hawaii. Okay, going to the inner Earth gate sites. Okay, and actually running what we've practiced in remote session on Boots location. So this is why you should get involved, you guys. This is why it's an exciting time. It's lots of things are happening, and we're here to make big changes on the Earth. We are doing so much here on this planet, and we're worth so much. We're worth it all. You are worthy of this course. You are worthy of this knowledge. You are worthy of doing grid work. And so hopefully you choose to do it with me. I love you guys all so much. And namaste, beautiful souls. Have a beautiful everything and take care.